don't be shocked. It's not dark. It's just the new home of Heath for the day. How's that for you? Welcome, Polk Nation. We are still in the Cluckley Center. We are still in the Legacy Center. We are
I think the curtains do. I mean, it helps you.
slimming. They're very slimming.
I think it's a really good touch. I mean, I've already talked to Kolby, who's going to be on next, about how we can get the curtains, on a permanent basis. I think it's good for you. It helps with the
aura. The aura.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm Jim Gazzolo. He's Heath Schroyer, as always, giving me a hard time. A lot of things to talk about, Coach. We're gonna get into this right now. I got to ask you right off the bat. Last week, big news came out of the WAC. A-Sun, yeah. The WAC A-Sun, they're getting together to try to create a football league only. Mm-hmm. That football league they expressed interest in going to FBS. I think it's kind of like saying you want to be invited to a wedding without the invitation, because nobody's asking them to come. Mm-hmm. But that's neither here nor there. But does that change anything of your direction?
Well, I think it's interesting, right? I think it's a very interesting concept. I read a lot about it over the weekend. It comes down to this, in my opinion, is are you able to, and are they legally able to get any of the college football playoff money?
Yeah. Because
just saying you're FBS and then being able, like an FBS independent, okay? Well, so now you can play 2 guarantee games, and let's say you get $3 million for that, but you have to travel.
Yeah.
You have to send your tennis team and your volleyball team all over. I think the CFP money is something that's really, really important when you make the jump, to be able to at some point in time be able to count on that to make your budget work. I'm very interested to see where this goes. It does pique my interest in a sense of, I'm curious because our ultimate goal is to become an FBS member, but this is out of the box thinking. Whoever, I do have a lot of respect for the people that put this together, because it is very, very out of the box.
Well, if nothing else, it got them notoriety.
100%.
But the interesting thing to me is when we hear about the future of the college football playoff, a lot of the talk is the big schools, Power Fives, and that, especially the Power 60 or whatever, however you want to go, 32, whatever you want to name them as the total package. They don't want to share the money with the current
right.
schools they're sharing it with. Why would they say we're going to share with more? This seems to me that if they get invited in, it's almost a tipping point to where they're going to say, no, that's enough. We're going our own way.
Well, I think this is going to end up, I don't think, it could end up in court.
What? Yes.
I mean, like if this new FBS league, if you will, is there anything written from an NCAA that, hey, we're going to lock this down, you're not able to get this, you're not, I don't know. But it's very, very interesting. And I think it's all going to end up in court.
Well, it probably will. But first of all, they've got, I'm looking at some of the schools that are in, and you outdraw almost every one of them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So what are they bringing to the table? None of them are going to go to the playoff.
Right.
So why would I? It just seems like I'm going to share more. If I'm Ohio State, I'm going to share more money with Abilene Christian just because they want to be Division I FBS.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to bring something to the table to me, and that means I think you've got to get yourself into one of the 10 conferences that are there now.
The easiest way to the CFP money is to become a member of, in our region, the
Sun Belt
and Conference USA.
That's it.
Right? All the other stuff, the independent world, the independent life, not being able to be in a conference and being able to draw the CFP money, I think it's hard sledding. Hey, look, but you're right. I looked at that too. We outdraw, even we haven't been, as relevant as we need to be, but we still outdraw them. And it's very upsetting in a sense that we missed the boat, 10, 15 years ago when we had our momentum, when they came knocking and the train came in, we didn't get on it. And it's a mistake that has really, really haunted this university for decades.
Yeah, no question about it. The thing, though, as we move forward is the path to it now seems completely different because the money is so much more.
So much. It's and people don't want to hear this, but it's true. it's so much that the difference between us and Lafayette and La Tech,
Monroe.
Monroe, like it's so the gap is it's so big, and it's continuing to get bigger because of the CFP money, and the people at UL, the leadership at the time there, and Tech, and even Monroe, they saw that where our leadership team at the time really didn't, and we're paying the price for it.
No question about it. It's not a facilities thing. It's not. It is strictly an amount of money you get from the group
100%.
that allows you to pay coaches more, travel more, do more things within your
100%.
university to build up your brand.
Absolutely.
And that's the future of FBS. We're going to talk about that on next show.
Okay.
Because we're going to talk about your future here and that after that. But right now, we got Kolby Carter to talk about the facilities at McNeese State right after this.
Welcome back to Polk Nation. It's a pleasure to have Kolby Carter, our coordinator of facilities here at McNeese. Thank you for being here, my man.
Absolutely,
And
appreciate
I will
having
tell Polk Nation, you were one of the unsung heroes of McNeese athletics. Nothing can really get done per game without you. And you're the guy behind the scenes that does an unbelievable job. Talk a little bit about what you talk about football, right? And how it's transitioned into basketball and your role in this department.
So me and Connor Bean, who's our coordinator of game operations, we work side by side, pretty much hand in hand. He takes care of more of the making sure the game days run, but he needs anything, I'm by his side. Anything facility side, he's by my side. So we tag team it up. It's been a crazy year with bringing back the mystery rider, coordinating everything with that to make our game day experience really great. Was a lot of stuff behind the scenes to make it work that people don't get to see, with coordinating, getting the horse down the ramp, timing everything with music.
It's a lot.
Not firing the cannon until he's gone so the horse doesn't go crazy and berserk. So there's a lot of things that go on to make sure that everything runs smooth. Other than one game that kind of was a little funky, everything ran smooth. Nobody on the outside world except the internal staff knew that there was an issue, and that's what we try to make sure happens, that nobody else knows.
The cannon didn't attack the horse.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Like when here, at our level, and we're working to try to increase our staff and put more boots on the ground. But you're over the facilities, but you do the football facility, the basketball facility, the baseball, softball. I mean, all of them, right? So any issues with any facilities, whether it be a light, an air conditioning, scheduling it, all goes through you. It is a, I'm telling you, Jim, a full-time job.
And he does it. What I like is he does it on the fly.
It's unbelievable.
The one day we had a clock issue, I think, and I saw you guys were behind the clock almost. It was like mid fourth quarter or something. You guys are working on the clock in the last minutes of the game.
Yep.
I'm like,
You got
why
to
is he
be
down there?
expect the unexpected. Something that we've had some issues with, some shot clock issues, but knock on wood, we've got them all taken care of. Daktronics has been great with helping us and get
What
that.
was it? I do have a question. What was the story with the red around the clock in the one game? When did that
So-
rule change?
According to the NCAA, apparently this rule has been in effect since 2006. Came out this year that they wanted to promote to lock in and harp down on this rule, but they didn't want to start until November 22nd. So by rule, the red light around the shot clock cannot go off, expire when the game clock hits zero. It can only go off with shot clock. Well, they tested it. Ref comes in, tests it, and says, okay, that's an administrative technical foul. The team starts with one free throw. Right. And nothing was really communicated. It was only communicated to the officials. Like our rules officials were like, we didn't even really get anything about this.
Sure.
But lo and behold, we got with Daktronics, we figured it out, we have it fixed, so no more technical fouls. And then now a waiver has come out now that they're giving another year before they can do this. But we're already ahead of the game, and we're done.
So let's talk. Let's go get a little bit personal, okay? Talk about to Polk Nation about how you got here. You're a graduate of La Tech, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The other thing that people would know is that I think you're a scratch golfer.
I wouldn't say scratch. I do play, and I don't think that I'm that bad, but win in a
That means he's
tournament.
good. Any guy, any golfer, Jim, that says,
Oh, no, they're
they're good.
They're trying to sucker you so you
They'll
can
take
put
your
down
money.
some money on the greens. Yes.
Hey, it's never what I'm about. But I've always heard the best way to do is bet money you don't have. So that gets you, it makes you play a lot better when you do that.
So you went to La Tech. Talk about exactly how you got here. Talk about that.
So I've been working in athletics for quite a long time. My mom was the administrative admin to Northwestern State's athletic director. So that's when I got my foot in the door at age 16, started working events, just fell in love. Always knew I wanted to do something with sports, didn't know the exact route to get there. So that gave me my foot in the door. I got a little experience from the marketing side, from facility game ops, equipment. Left there, went to Louisiana Tech, was an equipment manager for football for 4 years, meanwhile helping the SIDs out at baseball. Just wanted to get my foot in the door, anything to do just with being around the sport. Did that for 4 years, graduated, went to LSUA, NAIA school in Alexandria, was the coordinator of media and operations, so marketing, game ops, actually was the SID for about 3 months because our SID left, was the COVID tester there, pretty much anything and everything, and then found an opportunity here to be a graduate assistant, and now I'm full-time and trying to finish my master's degree here in the spring.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Wow. A lot of people don't know that a lot of people that work here are still in school here too, aren't they?
Quite a few, yeah.
What's it like to be both a student and a worker of the university?
Helps you with time management tremendously. So you just got to find a way to get things done.
Well, the thing is and Kolby was a GA for a year and has done such a great job. And then, when the opportunity came, hired him full time and put him over facilities, was something that was a no-brainer for me. And the great thing about Kolby is there's upward trajectory for him here because he's done an unbelievable job. I mean, really, I'm just telling you, we cannot run a game, let alone a football game, but a game without this man and what he does.
We can't run the show because every Monday morning when the show's
exactly
on, I have to text him to let him know we're doing a show. When we come back, we'll have more with Kolby Carter, including what the future looks like for some of the facilities after this. We're back with Kolby Carter. I don't want to give your whole title. I just say you're the guy that runs the place.
Very true.
I wanted to ask you this, though. You guys have the tournament coming up.
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn from the MTE? And what can you use from that to kind of go forward when you have the whole conference here?
So a lot of it just comes down to scheduling. And I had some actual experience at LSUA. We hosted the conference tournament there for basketball as well as the first round of the national tournament there. So you learn a lot about just making sure teams have practice times. Their locker room is set. They have a scheduled for, locker room. What do they need as far as water, Gatorade, stuff that coordinating with the trainers? The biggest thing is just communication and making sure every party is on the same page. Because if you keep your internal staff, because you just keep it like clockwork, and you do that, you can run a smooth show.
Because we're not talking 8 teams here. We're talking 16 teams you're responsible
For sure.
for.
Mm-hmm. It's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And actually, we're later on this week, the Southland Conference is coming in, and we're actually going to have our first meeting. It's not our first, but start talking about logistics of the tournament. And obviously Kolby will be there. Connor, my staff will be there. The Southland Conference tournament's going to be here, or their staff will, because Kolby's right. Like it's a lot, and it's such a huge advantage to host the tournament, and it's an unbelievable economic impact on our community. But it's a lot of work for our team.
But it's a prestige for the school too.
Absolutely,
to have that tournament.
100%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now you got, in a way, you kind of gone through a lot of changes with your facilities as upgrades are coming after hurricanes and that. What's kind of the changes we see that, because what you guys were able to put together for baseball in a makeshift press room and that, now you're getting the whole area back again. Right. What's it going to be like? How much better will it run now?
Well, it'll take a lot of time as far as setting up tents, making sure, tables are on cinder blocks, so, we don't have to worry about that anymore. It'll be a lot smoother setup because baseball in itself kind of runs itself once you get the game rolling, or even 2 hours before the game. It kind of runs itself. The biggest thing is now we don't have to set up a tent. Right. We'll have the enclosed press box. It's mainly just making sure timing things are right, run the game, and hopefully get some wins.
I want to tell people about this moment, though, in time that I will always remember. We had a makeshift tent up covering the media.
Oh, yeah.
And one day, the wind blew. and I'm watching Kolby at one end hold the tent down.
For sure.
Well, as the rain starts coming in. Do you remember that day?
Very vividly, yes.
No, that's going to the extreme for the school.
100%. I'm telling you, it's. I mean, we have a great team. We really do. I'm so proud of our entire team. Like like he mentioned, Connor Bean, but I will tell you, you're right. When there's an issue, and as the athletic director, when there's an issue or there's a problem I call one person, and that's this man right here. And it's and he does a phenomenal job. I'm excited about where the direction that his career will take here. But he does a great job. But let me ask you this, okay? Day to day, right? So, we get people calling all the time to schedule the facility. Like we have a high school tournament, the 19th and 20th of this month. Talk about like your day to day. So, obviously I know you're putting out fires, but how are you able to stay organized to be able to be as efficient as you are?
It's just a lot of you have to write things down, keeping a calendar ready, and also having Connor. Connor keeps me very sane and helping me out with just memorizing that. But it just comes in when people ask to use the facility. It goes to, okay, looking at the calendar, do we have an event that day? Is there anything scheduled as far as other events from a sponsor? Are they using it? Then it goes to coordinating with the coaches. Hey, they want to do this game. What time is your practice? Are you good with them coming in with that? And then scheduling, sending a rental agreement out, how much they're agreeing to pay, scheduling custodial staff. If it's a high school game, security, PD, getting there, making sure that it runs smooth because I'm always the one that's on site for it. When they clean up, making sure the building's locked, getting them out. But everybody that uses the facility, we have some good high schools in the area that clean up after themselves. They're very appreciative, and they're good communicators as well.
The thing about this place is it's a great selling point for McNeese. How important is it to see for you that it's run right so that people come here and say, hey, McNeese is a place to go?
Right. Well, especially if it's an outside event, it doesn't matter if it's our event or not. It's our place, and it's how we present ourselves, and that's something that Heath has always stressed, is we want to make sure that when you're presenting ourselves, we're presenting ourselves in the best possible way. And that's why when I'm here, I want it to be run smooth. I want to answer every question. I want to make sure that they love it here and they want to continue to come back to us.
Well, you got to think about it. Like we're all part of the team, right? And of trying. Look, we have to increase our enrollment. There's an issue on campus, right? Well, this is, I say it all the time, it's the front porch of the marketing for your institution. Well, if your front porch is dirty and it doesn't work and people come in and have a negative experience here, it affects enrollment, which affects budgets. So it all goes down to what Kolby just said, is that you have people coming here and things are put away, they're nice, they're clean, we present ourselves the right way. All of those things are really, really important to the big picture, and there's nobody, I'm telling you, on this campus that understands it or does a better job of that than this man right here.
I appreciate that.
There you go. Take that. Hey, use that for negotiation. Well, Coach's final thoughts after this on Poke Nation. We're back to Poke Nation. Coach, Kolby does a great job.
Stud.
I've got a lot of funny stories about Kolby. One of my favorite is this, really quick. He last year, because of the hurricanes and that, you guys had the umpires in baseball dress in the Legacy Center,
Right.
and he would be the one that would drive them after the game.
Right.
Well, one game, I forget what game it was, but he would also do the pitches on the scoreboard, the balls and strikes.
Right.
Well, one game, he would run down then at the top of the bottom of the ninth inning, wait for the umpires, take them off. Well, the game was tied, so he has to run down. He runs back up in the 10th inning, runs down at the bottom of does this until the 14th inning. And I'm like, are you getting tired of that? He was just, I just want the thing to end. So he goes over and above.
I'll tell you this, he does, and I said this when he was here, but when there's and look, there's always issues at games, right? And
Yeah.
during the week, and I call them 10 times. But when there's a problem or there's an issue or there's something going on, he is the one person I call, and he either has the solution or he finds a solution. He is the ultimate problem solver. And this place can't run without him. I'm telling you, he is a phenomenal part of our, and a huge part of our department. And I'm excited because his upward trajectory is going to be very, very evident in a short amount of time because he's earned it, and he's just really good, and he cares. Like when he talked about, everything being right, and he takes so much pride and ownership in his role in this department, and he is a star in his role. We couldn't do it without him.
All right, let's get on to what's coming up this week because he'll be working this week.
Oh yeah.
Already tonight, because this show will air after the game. The women have played Monroe. Mm-hmm. Kind of a rivalry game because of the Brooks Donald Williams thing, but an interesting game. Tomorrow night or Thursday night, whenever you're watching the show, you play UL in basketball. UL's had a really good start to the year, surprisingly. McNeese has been surprisingly good at times, surprisingly bad at times. Inconsistency would be probably the biggest thing. But really, you take away the power 3 games you've lost to top 25 teams, and you're 3-4. So it's not that bad. Mm-hmm. What do you see? What's it like to play a Louisiana?
I think all these games are really important. I think, being able to win games against in-state opponents, I think are really important. And I think that they're important to our fans. They're important to me as we continue to grow and brand our department. These games, they do mean something. They're just not another home and home. It's not, Lindenwood or UT Martin, which is important. But these games people care
They
a
get a
little
little
bit more.
personal.
Absolutely.
The fans care.
100%. 100%.
And you guys are doing something. We talked about it last week to get a little bit in already, but let's talk about it a little bit, especially for the Thursday night game. You're doing a little special for it on Throwback the Clock or something?
Yeah, so both Wednesday and Thursday, we're going Throwback the Clock, where every ticket is $5. So when we were all in the same league together, going back on the clock, that was the price of a ticket. So we went and said, hey, let's throw back the clock, and all general admission tickets that game to the game is $5.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. Again, great marketing team that I have.
Is that your idea? Take credit for it?
No, I'm not taking credit. I have a great marketing team, and they came up with it. And I tell you this, and we meet every Monday. And we film this show on Mondays, but my Mondays are packed because I meet with every department, and we set our objectives and goals for the week. I'm blown away, Jim, on Mondays by just the creativity, the passion that these young people, a lot of them are young. Have, and I'm blessed to have the people in this department that I do.
Are you looking forward to this basketball season? Because it's a big basketball season as far as attendance and everything. This is your first one where you're in the Legacy Center for a full year again. But just talk about that. What does this mean?
I think it's really important. And if I want to be just really frank, this is the best basketball job in our league right now. Stephen F. Austin, Abilene, Sam Houston, they're all gone. And we have the best facility, we have the best town, and we're hosting a tournament. Our program is funded really, really well, and this is the best basketball job in our league. And we need to be relevant. We need to be good. This is a big year for us.
When you get to play teams like Iowa State, as a coach, it's hard because you're not going to win.
Right.
But what are you trying to get out of those games?
You want to obviously compete. You don't want to lose by 30, but you want to be able to try to compete. You want to be able to have some bright spots. And then you sell your guys on, look, from January through March, you're not going to see anybody like this.
You try not to lose the team, though.
100%. It is very, very delicate. It's very hard because as a competitor, you want to win. But, you go into a Big 12 opponent, you go to Hilton Coliseum with Big 12 refs, and there's a reason why they're giving you a check.
That's the best thing you get out of it. We're going to end it on there. That makes all the sense in the world to me. I want to thank you, everybody, for watching Poke Nation. We'll see you next week.